Hey everyone, I'm Alex with Carter Products. Now today I want to talk to you about the Magfence. Now the Magfence II is basically the newest version of Carter's Magfence, which has your standard mag switches, but this one also comes with some jack screws. Now the jack screws are for the extrusion, which most of the time they're pretty perfect, but you may need to adjust it slightly so that you're perfectly square to that blade. And the way that that's done is basically these jack screws go up and down. You always want to take your square and set it on the fence after it's been locked down. That way you make sure that you're square to the table and square to your blade. All right, you'll notice that the jack screws can be placed in either hole so that we can adjust the face square to the table. Now, the mag switches are 150 pounds of pull force, so that's each for each magnet, and when you turn it, it actually magnetizes the magnet. We're reversing the polarity when we take that off so that nothing sticks to that magnet. Say you were using it on your drill press and you had a little shard. You wouldn't want that sticking to it because then the Magfence would not be square to the surface. So we'll turn that around. You can see that with that 150 pound pull force, that's 300 pounds of pull force on here, it's absolutely solid to the table. All right, now you may want to protect the face of your new fence. It's aluminum, so it's not going to exactly tear up a blade or hurt the blade, but you may not want to hurt your fence. So Carter makes these, which you don't have to have, but they are a nice addition. A simple wear plate, which is the same height as the fence, or you may want one that's just a little bit taller so that you can do pretty much anything in between. So what I'll do is we'll just take these squares and you'll notice they just simply slide right into place. The other thing that this does, you'll notice one of my favorite things about the Magfence is some fences tend to raise up, and I do a lot of cuts where we have angles. Well, since we lock that right down into place, now you don't have that gap where something can get up underneath the fence. We'll tighten this up and we're going to show you how to adjust it and square it to your blade. All right, now I've got my bolts tight and I want to make sure that the fence is square to the blade. Remember, you always want to square the fence to the blade, never ever to the table. Reason being, when you're dealing with crowned wheels, all it takes is little bits of movement front to back to change the angle of the blade. And that's why you always want to make sure that that fence is square to the body of the blade. And that's where a FAST comes into play. A FAST is a fence alignment system tool. You'll notice it has a groove for the offset of the teeth, a magnet for the body of the blade, drops right onto the blade, and we can align it square to the blade. Now, let's say I wanted to set it an 1/8 inch away. Well, then I would just put it on the inside and I could bring it right up to that FAST. Let's say I wanted to do an 1/8 and a 3/16. Well, they're also stackable. And the nice thing that I like about the FAST, they're not just made for the bandsaw, they're made for your router tables. I use them for my CNC to set depth, my drill press. FASTs are really handy to have. But in this case, I'm going to set this up for right at about 1 inch away. So in order to do that, I'm going to put that FAST on the outside, again, teeth right into the groove, and I'll line up my fence so that I'm 1 inch on the back, 1 inch on the front. Now I know I'm square and I'm 1 inch away. Now the 1/8 and 3/16 are my favorites to keep on the bandsaw. The 1/4, 3/8 and 1/2 I like to keep on my router tables, CNC, and drill press. We'll see how this works. Just like that, we've got a perfect 1 inch thick cut.